Thanks for your interest in Here to Help. We have a little slide deck to show you what our project is all about. So we're here to help. These are some of the slides that we're going to be going through. So some of the background on why we started creating this app. So many people don't seem to have much of a personal or a community support system where they live. Many people with disabilities struggle with everyday tasks, and many that are just taken for granted. Many communities are disconnected, especially due to recent events like the COVID-19 pandemic and divisive politics. In the 21st century, loneliness has been widely reported as an increasing worldwide problem and been shown as a growing epidemic. And some of the new studies around loneliness and isolation has shown that it is as detrimental to human physiology as smoking. The prevalence of disabilities among Canadians tends to increase with age and as time goes on. So here's a graph that shows almost 40% of seniors in Canada, which is I think over 2 million, have some kind of living disability, as well as many youth and adults. So how might we work to bridge these challenge areas in order to increase the connections in our local communities and the overall resilience of our neighborhoods? And that's why we've created this app. So Here to Help is a nonprofit app with the primary goal of providing community-based services to those in need. Our platform matches volunteers with people seeking services based on their needs, location, and availability. Seekers will have access to 4 categories they will be able to submit requests for help within, and that's connections, pet care, help at home, and rides. Volunteers will be able to browse requests submitted by seekers within those categories and connect to office support in whatever way they feel that they're able to. So why Here to Help? Our dedicated team cares to the core of what Here to Help stands for. Our team created this app from our passions for community at large and has been created entirely through volunteer time with the same value that Here to Help hopes to aid in and bring forth into communities. A unique part of our service is going to be the quantifiable data that we'll have for those volunteering. This will be recorded and can be accessed within the volunteer user profile. Users would be able to utilize this data for their resume or CV or volunteer hours required for student graduation or other kind of community certification processes. Our action plan started with data and research to really understand what needs there are in the community around us and what services Here to Help can really focus on to help bridge these gaps. Then our focus was the design, to create an intuitive design for smooth user experience and the most amount of user retention that we can get. We're right now in the middle of the development phase, building our app from the designs that we've made and are working to acquire community partners and funding for our app. Next will be the deployment of the app, which is obviously the completion of the app development, promotion of the app itself, release of the app into communities, international partnerships and promotion, and more. As we deploy our app, we have some plans for the future direction that we want to take. So first, we want to start taking community data such that volunteer would be anonymously aggregated and would give the ability to see the overall health of their community or the amount of people and the hours that they spend supporting their own communities. As well, we're going to be focusing on community events. These are some of the things that I'm quite excited about, like organizing block parties, having community sports days, or community fundraising, food drives, bake sales, and more, in a way that you can really direct these funds towards something that your whole community is focused on. As well, we're also working on projects such as a community lending library, like tool swap or skill swap, language services, knitting lessons, or other things that would be really useful for intergenerational connection, like technical assistance between youth and elderly, and many more possibilities. Part of this future direction as well will be the creation of community credits, such that as you work in volunteering in your community, you're given these community credits that you would be able to use for maybe discounts off of massage therapy or local shops or other places in your community that have become community partners with us. So as a grassroots nonprofit, we've created this app so far entirely through volunteerism. To establish this app into various communities, maintain the cloud services and other finances that come along with running an app, we will need some financial support. We are looking to raise at least $15,000 to pay for our service fees over the next year. So thank you for your interest in this project. If you are curious to hear more, you can check us out at www.here2help.community. We have a blog there that talks about events and other things going on as we put out updates. And we also have a collaborative community calendar that we will be updating with events and other things that you can join in on.